What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. It's the Wager Alarm live stream. I'm your host, Howard Bender. With me, of course, is Craig Mish. Week 17 of the NFL season. Craig, this is it. It's the last week for both the Golden Nugget and the Westgate Super Contest. So far, if it ended right now, we'd be over 500 and feeling all right about that. We got one more week to go here, and this Golden Nugget slate looking really big.
Yeah, what a shame that it has to end this week. We had such a fun season here, but the Golden Nugget football contest comes to an end this week. The Westgate Super Contest comes to an end this week. And those of you who have watched the live stream back since August, we've been here every single Friday night and Tuesday night since August. So think about that. August, September, October, November, December. We are 5 months into this process. And yeah, the reward at the end of the season, unfortunately, will not be money. But the reward is for a lot of you who followed the picks all season long, whether you followed our picks in college or pro, if you basically just played the same units on every single game, which of course isn't always recommended because some games are stronger than others, but you would have made money this year. So that's definitely the good news, and hopefully we'll try to be better than we were this year, but certainly nothing to be ashamed of when you look at the standings and see more than 50% of the pool is below us in both the Golden Nugget and in the Westgate Super Contest. So, the Week 17 for the NFL is always pretty interesting because the lines come out on Wednesday and then they shift so much when the coaches start to decide what they're going to do. And then in college, of course, you have these lines going all over the place with suspensions and players not playing, and so we'll kind of review those as well.
Indeed. Usual Golden Nugget, 7 picks. We opt to go. We went 5. So the Golden Nugget, the way they ended up setting it up was not only was it games that were available last night, Thursday night, but now they're taking it straight through beyond New Year's, all the bowl games all next week that are going to be in play for this as well. So obviously, Craig and I took some games that we like early on. We're not looking too far ahead for everything. Look, I'm all excited and I knocked my headset out. But nevertheless, we went 5 college, 2 NFL. And listen, I think that, one of the things that we've talked about here as far as NFL goes, this is not just, there really wasn't a lot of line movement going in from when the lines came out to when they froze for both of these contests on Wednesday. And now I think where we're going to end up seeing it is we're going to end up seeing some late movement. So the bets that we made right then and there, like I could see more line movement on Saturday even, especially when you take into consideration announcements that are coming out like McVay talking about resting a bunch of the Rams. And we talked today about the Vikings resting everybody. And then, utilizing the Bears in that situation. So lots to cover. Let's start it off here. We submitted the Golden Nugget ticket already because we wanted to make sure that we had some a stake in today's games as well. Really wish we had gone Louisiana. We should have just gone Louisiana Tech, dude.
Yeah,
we should have just done it.
Yeah, that was a great pick, and Wake Forest was not. Yeah, it's a shame.
We were on that in the whole live stream. That was definitely one of the picks that we liked the most.
Yeah, I don't have any regrets. I like both games, and I still stand by Wake Forest's pick. Unfortunately, their quarterback was really hobbled in this one, didn't give him much of a chance to win. They got shut out completely in the second half, so unfortunately we start off the week with an 0-1. We started off the week last week with a 1-0 by taking Kent State against Utah State. So can't win every week with the first pick, and this week we start off 0-1.
So nonchalant about it. It's great. You must have nice confidence in the rest of our picks then, because
overall the picks have been good in the bowls. So I'm not if you go back and watch the live stream so far, again we're above 500. I think we're going to get another win tonight, maybe 2 more wins tonight, maybe 3. We'll see. But so far so good on all of the picks.
All right, so 0-1 with Wake Forest starting off there. Next game we went to Air Force. We said we're sticking with the academies. Air Force against Washington State. We're laying the 3 points. Feeling good about it. You think this one's going to be a high-scoring affair?
Well, the total 70, so it would certainly indicate that. and I would expect, at least 50 points in this one. There are some people who question the idea that the total is so high because Air Force's defense is okay and Washington State's is not. But Washington State's quarterback's fantastic, and look, they're scoring 5 touchdowns tonight. Washington State, there's no doubt about it. They score almost every time they have the ball, but they don't play well in bowls. So we'll take the -3. And by the way, that line hasn't moved very much. A lot of the other ones have moved, but this one has been pretty solid, 2.5, 3.
So that's pick number 2. Pick number 3, we're going Memphis, taking the +7 there. Memphis has just looked fantastic, right? 12-1 on the season. Good high-scoring offense here. Talk to me about the matchup.
Yeah, and again, the trend today was toward the favorites a little bit, which is surprising because as you get deeper into the bowl games, some upsets will really start to kick in. But look, Memphis has been great all season long. I understand the reason why the line is 7 is because Norvell left. But look, Penn State's offensive coordinator just left too. So the Nittany Lions are a really good team. Big Ten's having a pretty good showing thus far. But I still think that this is too many points for Memphis. They were a favorite in every game all season long. I don't think they deserve to be 7-point underdogs. All
right, now we go with the old semifinal matchup here. Is this the Fiesta Bowl or is this the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl? Clemson given 2 points over Ohio State.
Yeah, I like Clemson a lot, and the line came out, and Ohio State was favored by a point. Now they're getting now it's flipped, and Clemson is laying 2 points. So certainly like the idea of taking them in the semifinal game.
And then the final pick that we're taking in college, Illinois getting 6.5 points in their bowl game. And I just had that page, and now I can't find it now. But there you go, 6.5.
Yeah, line is now 5. It's gone all the way down. Cal's had some players declared out for this game, and I'm just not a big fan of the Pac-12. In addition to that, one of the other bowl games that we did not choose, but just something to keep in mind, is there's a lot of discussion that DeAndre Swift, the running back for Georgia, is going to opt out of that Sugar Bowl game against Baylor, and that line has gone down significantly too. So you can see what happens in a lot of these bowl games. I'm very curious next week to see what happens with Alabama, to see who actually plays in the game.
I was going to say, weren't we on Baylor anyway, just given the fact
we were, and we got, but again, for our live stream, we give out the line, and if people pay attention to that, then they were able to get a 6 or 6.5 or even a 7. I mean, you're not even getting 5 anymore in that game. So, I mean, look, that's going to happen. Things are going to change. In fact, we were on the live stream last week. We picked Florida Atlantic. They had all their players suspended. And they beat SMU anyway. And so sometimes it doesn't matter. But you always want to try and be on the right side of that. But Swift not playing for Georgia is a massive loss. Swift is going to be one of the top 2 or 3 running backs taken in the draft, if not the first one. And it makes sense that he wouldn't play in this game. There's no reason for him to play in it.
Any other line movement that you've seen that's like really standing out to you, like super significant?
Not too much. No, I don't think so. I'll take a quick look here and see where we're at in terms of the update. I'll go to Monday. Cal's -5. They were 6.5. Mississippi State, even though one of their quarterbacks got suspended, is still -4. The Gators are still 14 over Virginia. I've seen some 4 with Arizona State instead of 4.5. So some money came on a FSU for some reason. I have no idea why. Still like that under. With Texas and Utah, 55. I think that number's too high. One of the ones we discussed on the live stream also. Baylor down to 5 now against Georgia. The Swift, that's like a point. They're basically taking a point away for that, and he's a significant player. And the rest are, I think, more or less even, Howard. I don't see anything all that significant here. No, I think that's about it.
All right. Well, so there you go. 5 picks from the college bowl games that you're going to see over the next couple of days. We're in on those to finish off the ticket. We went to the pros. First one here, Titans -3.5. To me, it's I was talking to somebody today. For me, the Titans win and they're in against the Texans, who really can't improve their seat. If the Chiefs lose at 1:00,
right? So
then the Texans win.
So here's the lesson. Here's the lesson with this game. If you're gonna bet this game, I'm gonna go over kind of what's gonna happen here. Okay, so we believe obviously that the Chiefs are gonna win.
Correct.
Okay, because if we did not believe that the Chiefs were gonna win, then this is a terrible pick by us. Because what's gonna happen is at 1:00, as Howard mentioned, the Chiefs are going to play the Chargers. And if the Chiefs win, then the game means nothing to Houston. Okay? So if you're betting this game, I'm pretty sure if you see the Chiefs go up on the Chargers like 21-0 and you're planning on betting the Titans, you have to do it at the half. Because what's going to happen is Vegas is not stupid. No matter what Bill O'Brien says, no matter what he says, Howard, Deshaun Watson is not playing in a meaningless game. I don't care. He is not playing in the game. He would be fired on the spot immediately after the season if Watson gets hurt in this game before the playoffs. What would be the point? And by the way, Watson hasn't been 100% healthy. He's been running around getting hurt. So the line, I think, on the Titans, Howard, I mean, maybe you agree or disagree. I think they're going to be a touchdown favorite over Houston by the time the game starts Sunday at 4:00 if the Chiefs win. So if you believe in that and you believe in Tennessee, you're getting great value right now. But the reason why the line hasn't shifted significantly is because there are some people that are going off the belief of what O'Brien said, that he wants to play all his guys and he wants to go out in a win. I don't believe it for a second.
Yeah, no, I don't believe it either. And somebody started saying, well, what if the Texans win this game? Do they knock out, the Titans from the playoffs? And who would their potential playoff matchup be? Because right now, I guess they're slotted. I think if the playoffs started right now, they'd be slotted to take on Buffalo.
But I think if they lose, they play Tennessee again. Correct? That's the deal.
Is that the deal? If they lose, they play Tennessee again?
I think that there's a chance of that. So the thought process is we'll play them hard. Let me understand this one. So we'll show them our playbook, maybe win or lose, and then have to do that again the next week. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Houston's going to lose.
And this is the second time in 3 weeks these teams have met up.
They're not going to play their guys. They're not going to play their guys.
I've
been watching football forever. It would make no sense to do that at all if you're Houston. Now, if the Chiefs if the Chiefs lose to the Chargers, the Houston's got to play that game. They got to try and play for the bye, without a doubt. They got to play, and then that would crush us because at that point we would have gotten a horrible line.
Well, they're not playing. They're not playing for the bye. They're just playing for the home field. They're playing to improve to the 3 seed. It depends. If the Chiefs lose and the Patriots lose,
right.
Then I don't even know how convoluted it gets from there.
I think we have the right idea. If you want to play the other side of this and you don't believe anything that we say, which is perfectly fine, then what you do is obviously Houston. If they're playing in this game, the line's going to flip completely, and Houston's going to be favored by 3 for sure. Going into that, if the Chiefs lose to the Chargers, that line's going to flip 6 points, which is rare. You never see that. But anyway, we're playing it as if the Chiefs are going to win, big or small, against the Chargers, and then the game at 4:00 Eastern is going to start. You're going to see the line. Tennessee's going to be 6.5 or 7-point favorites at Houston, I think.
And we've got it at 3.5.
So we have it at 3.5. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. Yeah.
There you go. Next one, Falcons. We're taking them in a pick'em. Actually, it's kind of funny. Falcons are in a pick'em against Tampa Bay. Obviously, it's in Tampa Bay. Tampa, who doesn't really play as well at home as they do on the road.
Very weird.
Yeah. Always funny to see that. But yet Tampa is now a 1-point favorite in this game. Is the last line that I saw. Is that Tampa -1? We're just going straight up here as the Falcons just win this game. I think the news of Dan Quinn being held on for next year, the promotion of Raheem Morris to defensive coordinator from wide receivers coach, I think that's kind of, cementing them. And I mean, listen, we're looking at a team that's 5-2 over the last 7 games right now. I believe they've covered the spread on 6 of those 7 games.
Yeah, they played great.
And they've played well. So I feel like they'll just, to me, if I'm just picking who's going to win this game, the Falcons, they're a better team with better talent than what we're seeing in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and Winston's always there to make a mistake or two. I think he's thrown an interception on their opening drive like 5 games in a row or something like that.
How funny was that? I mean, Come on. Did you
see? I watched that game. Yeah, I just think at this point, it's just so silly to think that. I mean, I don't know why Tampa Bay would even consider franchise tagging him. I mean, I think you got to bite the bullet and let him go and let somebody else take a shot with Winston.
Dude's asking for $30 million a year.
Gotta let it go.
$30 million.
If Bruce Arians can't get that right, come on.
No, exactly. Bruce Arians can't get it right. It's just horribly inaccurate. But so there you go. Those are our picks that we're going in there with for the Golden Nugget again. Um, Start off with a quick loss in Wake Forest, not a big deal. Air Force -3, Memphis +7, Clemson -2, Illinois +6.5. Titans were getting it -3.5. Falcons in a pick'em. That's for the Golden Nugget. For the Westgate, we're carrying over both picks. Still a pick'em for the Falcons. Still -3.5 for the Titans.
Right.
Third game that we went to here actually was a quick last-minute change for us. Once the Vikings announced that they were packing it in, that nobody was going to play, we turned to the Bears +1 in this one, and
it's a free roll.
About that.
Yeah, it's a free roll. Bears will probably beat the Vikings, even though it'll be an ugly game. Bears, it's a little different. I know it seems silly. It's a little different when you have 6 wins as opposed to you have 7. The Bears are actually using that as motivation. Let's finish off the season at 500. The Super Contest line is +1. The Bears are now -3. The expectation is the Vikings are just not going to simply play anyone in this game, which is the right thing to do if you're the Vikings. And so it'll be the most picked game in the Super Contest for sure. But we have to jump on board with that because that's a 4-point line shift, and it just has to be done. So we're going to take the Bears, and all they got to do is win by 1, as opposed to whatever the line is now. You got to do it.
Next game we're taking there. How about this? The Giants getting 4.5 points here. I got to tell you, man, I really like this pick, and I was surprised that you had said something about this because this wasn't in my original grouping, only because I was like, Mish is just going to laugh at me if I say that I want the Giants. I'm looking at this team. I'm like, listen, Zach Ertz is out for the Eagles. He was, at the time we were having this conversation, it was questionable as to whether or not he was going to play. But now you're like, no Zach Ertz, no Nelson Aguilar. Basically, Greg Ward and Dallas Goedert are the only 2 guys who catch passes. You've got Miles Sanders in the backfield. I know that the Giants are just a horrible defense, but that offense last week really, really stepped up. I mean, Barkley looked amazing. Jones spreading the ball out to his wide receivers, even though before Darius Slayton got hurt. These guys were getting, 7-8 targets around. Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate got double-digit targets. Caden Smith, tight end, did well. I think 4.5 points in this divisional matchup. I know the Eagles are in a must-win situation, but I think the Giants keep this one close.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with Dallas at all. Last week, if you remember the live stream right at the end, I was pretty emphatic. Hey, look, if there's one pick that we don't have that I like, it's Philadelphia. And I'm going to go the opposite side. I'm not impressed with them at all. They lost to Miami. They've lost some easy games this year. When they're in those tough spots, Howard, and you said back against the wall. The back against the wall was last week against Dallas. I don't think that they have the same pressure this week, and I think it's going to catch up to them. And nothing would shock me more, by the way, than this week, Philly losing and Dallas losing. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see Dallas lose. You laugh. Would not surprise me at all. It's been that kind of division. I think the Eagles are going to win the game. I think it's going to be a back and forth 2-point conversion type, teams going for 2 type game, 1 point, 2 points. I think they're going to pull this out because that's kind of what they do. But the line is too high, and the line is not 4.5 anymore either. It's 3.5. So I do like the Giants this week. They have a great chance, I think, to win outright, but we got to take the 4.5 points here. They're playing great offensively, and Philadelphia only managed 17 points last week against Dallas. It's not like they really set the world on fire. And as you mentioned, their top target is out. I mean, Goddard certainly can have a really good game, but these weapons that Philly has are just like, if they're able to stop Sanders, I don't know what Philly's going to do this week. So
I don't either. Bust into the old deep tight end pocket that they've got.
Yeah, like the Giants a lot.
Well, there you go. See, I'm glad. I'm so excited now. Well, here you go. And then finally, the last pick. This one to me is just filthy. It's dirty. I feel disgusting doing it, but yet, come on, you can't give me 15.5 points. I get it. The Patriots, see, the thing about it is everybody's like, well, if the Patriots win this game, then they get the number 2 seed and they get their first round bye. Yeah, I get that. But you're telling me that you're looking at a team that's going to what? They're going to try and run up the score? They're going to try and do as much as they can to win this game and then take their foot off the gas and just
That's
kind
what
of
they've
coast
done
the
in the
rest of the way.
past. That's what they've done in Week 17. They just start running the ball. Normally, the Patriots don't do that. But in Week 17, they've been notorious for getting those leads, and then they just try to run the clock out. I don't think the Dolphins are going to allow that. Fitzpatrick has played with a lot of pride. It does seem like a lot of points. My guess is the Patriots win, but not by 15, maybe not even by 10. I think that they'll get the win here. I mean, the Dolphins have no business even trying to win this game here. I mean, they could get out of there with a nothing. But, having a 2-touchdown favorite in any game in the NFL is significant. And have the Patriots beaten anybody by 2 touchdowns? I think they beat Cincinnati by...
No, they haven't. This game's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to stay super close the entire time, and then we're going to feel nice and confident about it, or there's going to be like a mid-range distance between the two of them, and then in the final 2 minutes, Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to throw a pick six that the Patriots are going to run back, and it's all of a sudden going to turn the lead into beyond the spread, and then we're going to get screwed. It's one of those two.
I mean, New England doesn't score a lot, but I mean, think about that. We're in a great position with New England being up 35-17 and Miami having the ball with 5 minutes left. I mean, that's a great position to be in, and you would think, you would never want that, but the back door definitely would be open in this game. So I don't think Miami will win. They really need to lose this game. It's just so tight with those 5-6 picks. But look, last week they could have lost to Cincinnati easily and had the second pick overall in the draft, and they punted that basically. Now they're down to 4th or 5th. A win for them against New England would put them in a range, a horrible range with everybody else. Would give them like the 8th pick in the draft. So they're going to lose, but not by 15.5.
Not by 15.5. So there you have it, guys. Those are our Westgate Super Contest picks. Titans -3.5. Falcons pick 'em. Bears +1. Giants +4.5. Dolphins +15.5. Listen, I like it, man. That's our MO. We do those dogs. We like them. They work for us. One favorite in this one here, and I still think we're getting great value on that pick anyway.
Yeah, for sure. And just a couple of other games of note. We did like Cincinnati a little bit here, plus the points, so we do want to mention that. The other thing that I find interesting is McDermott, the coach of the Bills. What is this guy doing? Like playing it so close to the vest, like, we're gonna play. He's not playing any of his guys. Like, what's the deal with that?
He's not playing any of his guys.
That's another line, by the way, that if you wanted to take advantage of it, the Jets, I think, Howard, are going to be favored by the time this game kicks off. Buffalo's a 1.5 favorite. The one thing that it seems to be coming from the Buffalo writers is that they may play Allen for a series or two. That's something that they've proposed, that they think that they will play him just a little bit and then stop, of course, and then play him the following week. But even if that is the case, what you could do is even if they play Josh Allen for the first half, you wait till the half and then play the Jets in the second half of the game. Now, there's not going to be a lot of points. It totals 36.5. I like the under in this one, too. But again, the Jets are definitely the pick if it's between New York and Buffalo. Buffalo has no incentive whatsoever to play this game also. What do you think about this game? This is one that I don't have a great opinion on. Pittsburgh-Baltimore. This is a very, very debated pick this week amongst a lot of people. What do you think? Pittsburgh -2 at Baltimore.
Yeah, and I honestly, I would take Baltimore in this because...
Oh, my gosh, really?
I mean, I don't like, the whole Devlin Hodges versus Mason Rudolph situation. James Conner's not playing in this game. You already know that for a fact. I believe in the Ravens backups, like Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. Perfectly fine with those guys in the backfield. RG3 is obviously going to be an interesting situation because I just don't know what his passing is going to be like. But Greg Roman's going to run a ton of RPOs. And he's going to try and get, RG3 running a little bit. He's got lower echelon receivers like Miles Boykin and Willie Snead, who probably still be on the field for these guys. Like, that's the thing is that, who are they going to sit? They're going to sit Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, maybe Marquise Brown?
What I find the most interesting about this game is that Baltimore literally could not. Think about this. They could decide we're not going to throw the whole game. We're just going to run the entire game.
Sure.
And we don't want anybody to get hurt. And Pittsburgh could actually lose the game by throwing. They could lose the game on their own 20 throwing an interception and Baltimore kicking a field goal or scoring a touchdown. Like, that's how desperate it is. I think that historically, when you look back, and I know that Peterman for Buffalo, when he was throwing all those picks, of course, I don't know that there's anybody that's been like that. That's been that bad. But this guy Hodges is up there, Howard. This guy is up there as far as, I mean, he may be a good kid, but bad performances.
So when I said Baltimore, you were like, really?
No, it's just shocking to think that a team playing for nothing is going to beat a team like Pittsburgh. They haven't lost in 7 years in Week 17. 7 years.
Pittsburgh hasn't lost in 7 years in Week 17?
Yes.
That's amazing. That's an amazing streak.
But I kind of agree. I kind of think that the Steelers are going to make a mistake and lose the game. Like, I think that's it. Yeah. Colts Jags, I have no interest. What about?
Tell you what.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say Green Bay, Detroit.
I don't know.
Like, I kind of want Detroit in the points.
Yeah, but the Packers are playing for a lot.
Packers are playing for that, potential number 1 seed. I just 12.5. Based on what we've seen, Detroit's defense has definitely gotten better. How about this?
Yeah, they've stayed alive. Yeah.
Green Bay's lost their last 2 trips to Motown.
Yeah. Raiders, Broncos. Broncos line is moving up now, I guess, with Jacobs announced being out. But Washington's pretty good. Denver's minus 3.5 in this one. It is such a shame for the Raiders. I mean, all they had to do was beat Jacksonville, man. That's all they had to do. Beat Jacksonville in Oakland, win this week, they're in the playoffs. I mean, they have got to be not sleeping at night after that loss, being up 17-3. And then who do you like Sunday night, Howard? Let's cap it off with this, and then we can end. 49ers, Seahawks. 49ers are minus 3. It's I personally, I don't know about you, I like the Sunday night games when it's do or die. So for me, I would have put Houston and Tennessee on Sunday night, Like, I like it when the team they have to win to get in, or if they lose, they're completely out. This is just for the division. I get it. It's a more high-profile game.
Well, it's for the number 1 seed. It's for the first round bye also.
Yeah, I like it more when the 2 teams are playing and one has to go home.
Well, listen, I would be happy with that drama also. The lean for me right now is San Francisco.
Yeah, I agree. That's the way I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're not gonna convince me that adding Marshawn Lynch to that backfield is gonna save it. Even though this kid Travis Homer is gonna probably see the majority of touches. I hear there's a little rain in the forecast also. I think that could be a problem, at least for Wilson, and just throwing the ball because he doesn't have a ground game.
Yeah, people have asked me why I keep saying that I like the 49ers and still like them to go to the Super Bowl because they're playing so poorly. But the reason is Howard, they played like their last 9 games are all within a touchdown. They've won 7 of them, Like, they've won so many close games, and I like teams that have gone through that before they get to the playoffs. So I do think that San Francisco wins. Travis Homer is a pretty good running back at Miami, but he has no business being the starting running back in this game. And I guess I didn't look at Lynch's props, but his props are only for like 30 or 40 yards total. So
I'd be surprised if he even hit the over on a 30-yard prop.
Yeah. So
4 carries, 2 yards, 1 touchdown. It's gonna be so annoying.
There's not a lot of expectations there, but either way, we'll be back throughout the playoffs. And next Friday night, we'll have a preview of the College Football Championship, which is coming up soon. And we'll continue to have our picks for the NFL playoffs as well throughout. But no contest picks, unfortunately. We're done.
No contest picks. There you go. So that's going to do it for us here. Appreciate everybody who's been watching us the entire season. Again, we will be sticking to the Friday nights now. We're not going to do the Tuesdays anymore because there is no contest recap to do. But we'll make sure you take care of it. As always, if you got any other questions, Craig's on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. Hit us up. Not a problem. We'll see if we can help you out a little bit there. So big thanks to Matt Sells, our producer extraordinaire, for always doing the great job. And for Craig Mish, I'm Howard Bender. We'll catch you next time.